So you want to move to Boise, Idaho from a state with a warmer winter climate, but there is one thing holding you back: the colder winters. Or maybe you already made the move to Idaho from a warmer climate, and now that you are here, you haven't figured out yet how to dress for the cold and still stay warm. My friends, don't laugh. This is a real problem and one I am asked about all the time. And not only am I asked about it, I personally went through many cold winters, either hiding in the house or freezing outside, before I finally figured out how to dress for the colder winters so that I could still enjoy being outside. So today I'm going to show you how to dress, what shoes you'll need, and I will give you some tips and tricks so that you can not only survive the Boise, Idaho winters, but actually enjoy them as well. Welcome back to my channel. I'm Summer Aston, a realtor in the beautiful Boise, Idaho area, and I've lived here for over 20 years now. And having grown up in both Southern and Northern California, I was actually excited to move to a climate that had snow in the winter. But I was completely unprepared. So there are two things I wish I knew then that I know now. One is perspective on what the definition of cold is. My first winters here, I think if it was like under 60, I would have said it was too cold. And two is how to dress to stay warm outside. So first, perspective that can really only be gained over time and experience. So now that I've lived here long enough, I don't feel like it's cold unless it gets in the 30s, and that can be okay if the sun is out and the wind isn't blowing. But your perspective changes as you learn how to dress correctly outside. And when you have not grown up in cold winters, there is a real learning curve of how to dress. And dressing correctly, that really is the key to enjoying winter here. So a couple of disclaimers: I am not affiliated with any of the name brand items that I might mention. And also, I am not a fashion guru. This is not meant to be a suggestion on fashion at all, but on the practicality of staying warm. Also, this information is coming from the perspective of someone who loves the hot sun and whose toes go numb if I'm wearing flip-flops when it's under 60 degrees. However, I will also include what my husband wears, and he loves the cold. And even though we don't have young children anymore, we did raise our 3 kids in the cold winters here. So I will mention what you'll need for the kids as well. So let's start with the footwear. I think it's one of the most important for staying warm, and you will need a surprising variety of shoes to deal with all the different conditions here. Okay, so I'll show you some shoes as the winter season progresses. So in the beginning of the winter, when it first starts to get a little cold, a good fall shoe into that winter transition is a shoe like this. This is a shoe from Beanies. It is waterproof. They are a suede leather, and they're not lined, but if you wear a thick sock with them, that makes them a lot better. So I wear these types of shoes quite a bit until it gets colder. And then I always have to make sure that my feet stay warm. And so then I like these types of shoes. These are from Tom's. They are also waterproof. They are also a suede, but these are lined with a fake wool type of lining. And these are great when you have just maybe like a little bit of snow or as it gets colder. And then when it starts to get even colder, then I have a shoe like this one. This shoe is from Saludos, I think, something like that. This one is also lined. It's much thicker. It's kind of like an UGG boot, but these are actually waterproof. So as you can see, my theme here is waterproof shoes, if you can do that. I don't love the UGG boots because they're not waterproof. I know you can get things to help with that. The UGG boots are great when it's cold here, but they are not great for dealing with rain or snow or anything like that. Okay, and another type of boot that I really like to wear, I like these boots. These are also waterproof. They are suede. They are not lined, but they do have a really nice thick sole. It has really good traction on the bottom. And so you can wear these with a thicker sock. These are great for when it snows outside and you just need to be walking around town. You can wear them with a thinner sock. So a boot like this is really good kind of for the whole season and for fall all the way into spring. Okay, or what I love for snow, but also cold conditions, is a boot like this. So this boot is also waterproof. This boot is actually lined with wool. It's leather. These are from Boss & Co. And they do have a nice rubber sole on them. And see how there's a little bit more of a distance here between your foot and the ground. So with this and a warm sock, my feet stay very warm. And so these are pretty much my go-to boots for a large part of the winter. And these next ones are my absolute favorite boot that I have ever owned. These are also from Boss & Co. They are lined with actual wool. They have a super thick rubber heel here at the bottom. And I love that it's suede on top and then this leather here. So I can wear these out when I'm going to build job appointments and we're out in the dirt. I can wear them to dress up jeans. I can wear them in a huge variety of circumstances. So I wear these when the snow gets a little bit deeper or if I just want a little bit different look. But my feet stay so warm in these boots. Okay, and then for the most part, like if I'm just gonna go walking the dog or running outside, then you can get just a waterproof tennis shoe. And honestly, these are gonna be perfectly fine unless you have like deeper snow on the ground. And in that case, then you are going to get a boot like this. So this is not like a snowboarding boot. I actually need new ones. These are pretty old, they're getting worn out, but these are from High Tech. They're a little bit of a cheaper brand, but they were completely lined. Obviously I like that. They have a very thick sole, but they fit and feel like a tennis shoe. So when we actually have more snow on the ground, this is what I wear to go outside and walk the dog. Now, if you're like my husband who likes to try to go running all winter long, he just wears his waterproof tennis shoes. And then besides his waterproof tennis shoes, he also has shoes like this. These are from Reef, I think, and these are also a waterproof slip-on shoe. He doesn't wear these very often, but when it does get a little bit colder, he has a shoe like this. This is from Teva. This is also an insulated shoe, has a thicker sole. So this is for when there's like a decent amount of snow on the ground. This is what he wears. And then if he's just gonna be shoveling the snow, then he does have a shoe like this, similar to that boot that I showed you. And these are a Keen brand shoe. And one thing I was gonna let you know that people ask is, where do you buy these types of clothes? So we buy them at Sierra Trading Post. You can buy them at REI. There's a ton of places you can buy them online, but you know, any of those reputable outdoor type stores should carry these. Although for the women's type shoes like this, then I usually kind of scour online until I find exactly what I'm looking for. Okay, and my favorite all around winter footwear for my teens, and even they have it for adults, are these Vans. They have a variety in the MTE line for kids, adults, boys, and girls. They're lined, they're waterproof, they have great traction, and they still look like a regular shoe. So for kids, it does get expensive to have a full variety of shoes since they grow out of them so fast. So they really just need a tennis shoe, and then I always had some kind of insulated waterproof shoe for them. And then of course, snow boots for when they go sledding. They will get sent outside at recess here when it snows, and they will be playing in the snow at recess. So they do sometimes wear snow boots to school. And for kids, you're gonna wanna look for those snow boots that are easy on and easy off. Okay, so let's talk about the next thing that you'll need an abundant variety of: jackets and coats. So in the fall, and actually most of the winter, I don't really need that heavy of a coat. So I have a coat like this. This is a shirt jacket coat. It's pretty heavy, it's wool, it does have a lining in it. So I actually pull this coat out quite a bit. And then that coat I just showed you, it's not great in rain or snow for a long time. It's more of just a cold weather coat. So for when I go outside to exercise or walk the dog or things like that, or when I just want a more sporty looking coat, I do have this one. This is from LL Bean. It does have a hood. I like that it has a little bit longer length to it, and I'll talk about that in just a second. But it is a lightweight, packable, insulated jacket. You're really gonna want one of these, you know, a ton of different brands make them. And then my main thicker winter coat that I wear all the time, and I wore it on that video I made about weather like a couple of years ago, and people have asked me about it. It is actually a fantastic coat. I don't know if they make it anymore, but it's this Volcom coat. So it is actually waterproof. It's long, so it covers your rear end. It does have a cinch on the inside of it, and that's important to have a cinch on your coldest weather coats because you don't want that air coming up and making you cold. So you do want a coat for the coldest weather that's a little bit more fitted and also is going to be long enough and has a cinch on it. This is my go-to coat. I can even wear this one in the snow, and this is the one that I would wear up skiing and things like that. And then I like to have a nice coat. I have a couple of different ones. I'm just going to show you one that I wear when I'm out with clients or, I don't know, to church or something like that. So a little bit nicer coat when it's also pretty cold. This is a wool coat and a lined coat, and so I have this nice light gray wool coat to wear when I want a nicer coat. Which brings me to another question. I had a different client asking me, what do people wear around here for men when they want a nice coat? And I thought about it and I was like, we're pretty casual here. And to be honest, I don't know too many people that dress up to go to work. Like everybody that lives on my street works from home. So I'm not really up on if men are wearing like long trench coats here. I really don't think they are. I mean, when I do see men dressing up, they are still wearing like those insulated puffy jackets, the lightweight ones. So I'll show you the coats that my husband wears. So if he doesn't need something very thick, he has this wool blend sweater jacket, and it's not that thick. And this is from Smart Wool. And he just wears this over a t-shirt or a long sleeve shirt. He wears that quite a bit. So his latest go-to jacket has been this wool shirt jacket. It is insulated, it is lined. This is from Pendleton. I think he got it at Costco and got a good deal on it. He's been wearing this pretty much the whole winter. But like I said, you do need an insulated lightweight type jacket here. And so he has this one. This is an Arc'teryx jacket, very red on the video. And so it's lightweight, it's packable, it's insulated, it has a hood, he can wear it running, and he can wear it when it's snowing, he can wear it in a variety of situations. So, and really that's about as thick of a layer of coats that he has. I mean, we do have snowboarding coats for when we go to the mountain, and he goes snowboarding quite a bit. So of course he has a regular large insulated, this is a Burton snowboarding jacket. He just gets hot really easily, and so he doesn't hardly wear the big coat unless he's going up snowboarding. And for kids, you always want to keep it as simple as possible. So if you can get a jacket that has a few zip-in layers, so one that has like a fleece jacket that zips into an insulated thicker coat with a hood, that's really ideal. And then another really important thing to staying warm outside is the right accessories. Okay, so let's start by talking about the different kind of hats and beanies you can have. So I always have to have one that is completely fleece lined. My husband likes this one. This is something new he's trying out. I don't know the brand of it, but it's super warm. It's like alpaca or something like that. And it's not fleece lined. He does not like fleece lined hats. His head gets way too hot in that. But I have to have something that's going to protect my ears and that's fleece lined. Otherwise, I'm just way too cold. So I recommend getting a hat if you're a cold type of person that is fleece lined the entire way and not just around the ears. But you can also get the hats that like this that are just fleece lined around the ears. And a lot of people like that, especially if it's windy, because then your ears can stay warm, but your head doesn't get quite so hot. And then sometimes it's really helpful just to have something that's going to just cover your ears. So this is on days it's really not as cold, but sometimes the wind is cold and your ears might be getting cold. Okay, so one thing that I did not discover until I had lived here a little while, and actually I loved it for when I needed to go outside and walk the dog, especially on days that it's really, really frigid, and that is a gaiter. Okay, so this is just a fleece neck gaiter, but what I like about it is that you can pull it up and wear it over your face like this. It gets really cold and your nose freezes off, so I like the neck gaiter for that reason, or you can just kind of wear it down. I like it better than a scarf. I used to wear a scarf before I learned about neck gaiters, so this is one of the scarves I used to wear. And they're cute, I guess, if you need some fashion, but I'm all about practicality. And then this is a very thin neck gaiter. This is incredibly thin material, so if people don't like the thickness of the fleece, but you do need something to help keep yourself stay a little bit warmer when it gets really cold, you can get a thin one. This is one of my kids, so it doesn't have to be this obnoxious looking. Okay, when it gets really cold, you can get a balaclava. That's what this is called. And you might think it looks silly, but there are times when I felt like I needed to wear one of these, especially when you go up to the mountain, you might want to wear one of these. But there's just times when it's super windy and super cold, and then you are grateful to have a balaclava. And then as far as socks go, my husband just typically wears regular cotton type socks, but of course, you know, you're learning by now, I'm much colder and I get really cold feet, so I do really like these wool blend socks, and these keep my feet really warm in the winter, especially in the insulated boots. And if I need even more warmth, I do have some extra thick socks like this that I can wear for more warmth. And as far as gloves go, I do like the thicker fleece gloves like this for when you're walking outside or just going outside to do any activity, you know, that has like a tech finger that, I don't know, they kind of work, kind of don't. Most of the winter, just those really thin little knit gloves are not going to be enough for when you're walking outside. And then I don't really wear the thick insulated gloves unless we're going to be outside, like actually in the snow. So kids and accessories can be really tough, but they will also need at least a beanie and lightweight gloves for playing outside, and some kind of insulated waterproof gloves like this for school. So Costco usually has a good selection of these types of gloves for kids that's just fine. So what about pants? So most of the time for pants, you can just wear your jeans or your khaki type cotton pants, but you do need some extra layers just in case we have those extra cold days. So the base layer that I like to start with when I need to is these kind of micro fleece lined pants. These are from the Loft. You can buy them at Athleta or stores like that. These are a lightweight type legging pant, and I can wear these outside for running. And I can also use them for layering, which I do like to do that when I need to. But my favorite winter pant would be these fleece lined leggings from Athleta. So they do have a thicker fleece lining in them. They've got some cell phone pockets, and I can wear these underneath snowboarding pants. So usually these are the ones I wear when I go outside for walking the dog and things like that. And of course, if it's extra cold, I can layer these under these. So I just really have these two pair of pants to help with layering. And then of course, if you're going to be getting out into the snow and you want to go up to the mountain or you want to go sledding with your kids, don't get those super cheapy pants. You don't want to get cold. If you get cold here, you will not like it. So this is all for you to like the winter here and stay warm. You need to get some actual, for real snow pants. These are snowboarding pants. They are insulated. They are waterproof. And so that way you can really enjoy your time outside when you have the right clothes. So for kids, it's pretty tough to get them to wear different types of pants. I did try to make sure that my kids had thicker fleece lined pants or leggings. If you can get them to wear pants in the cold, then you have already won. So for some reason, kids try to wear shorts as long as possible. They have a hard time transitioning to pants for the pants season. And of course, kids will need some insulated waterproof snow pants for sledding and skiing as well. Do not skimp out on these. If you want your kids to learn how to love the winter, they need the right gear too. Don't get some cheapy things that are gonna get sopping wet. Get the waterproof kind. And for pants, my husband typically just wears his khaki pants, and he is one of those guys that does not switch to pants until it is pretty darn cold out there. He'll wear shorts as long as possible until it's 35 degrees. For going outside running, he just wears his normal running pants most of the year, but he does have some fleece lined athletic type pants as well. He has a few different pairs of these, and he does have some layering wool blend tights that he wears under his snowboarding pants. All right, and then we've got our shirts or sweaters. So starting with the base layer, I pretty much just always wear like a long sleeve t-shirt underneath my sweaters. It helps me stay a lot warmer. So you don't, for the most part, need much more than that. And my husband doesn't even wear that. He just wears a t-shirt most of the time and then puts on a jacket when he goes outside. But as far as other layers go, I do like having like a wool blend shirt like this that I can layer. This, I really only wear this when I go outside in the snow and I'm going to be outside for a long time. Okay, and I do have a handful of thicker sweaters like this, and honestly, it's pretty much always too warm to wear the really thick sweaters. I have some just in case I need them sometimes. Sometimes I meet with clients and we're doing a walk around outside of a building when we're outside for 30 or 40 minutes when it's really cold outside. So I do have some very thick sweaters, but for the most part, I don't feel like I really need that thick of sweaters. And for exercising outside, honestly, you can just wear something like this. This also has that micro fleece line. And because you're going to be wearing that jacket when you go outside over whatever your underlayer is, really, I mean, it's not that complicated. Long sleeve shirt, maybe a sweater or a sweatshirt. And so similar to the other items, it's hard to get kids to wear more than one shirt. So usually if they have a long sleeve shirt on and then you have a thick enough jacket, they're going to be fine in the classroom or at home. But preparation is the key to success in anything, and that goes for successfully living in and enjoying a colder winter climate. So if this sun-loving girl can do it, you can too. If you have questions about moving to Idaho, remember we have tons of videos for you to check out on my YouTube channel. So make sure you subscribe so you don't miss any of them. And if you are thinking of buying a home here, you can give us a call or a text. You can reach out to us at our website, summerastonrealestate.com. You can download all kinds of free things there, like a relocation guide, and there's community guides on there. And you can also follow us on Instagram for more daily Boise housing market information. Thank you so much for watching, and make sure you stay warm out there.